to one of the great NFL stadiums of all time. A stadium with images that cannot be forgotten.
40 men together, can't lose. Okay.
Gilbert drops straight back. Being rushed, throws his pass to the end zone to Taylor. Touchdown, Washington.
Great names. Great memories. Great games.
Overboom fakes. Throws the screen, has it batted away and picked off in the air by Darryl Grant. Touchdown, Redskins.
As the regular season comes to a close, so does the 35-year history of RFK Stadium. If a stadium could only talk, for the last time, RFK Stadium, the site of today's match between the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Redskins. Another sellout, no surprise there. They've had them since the beginning. RFK Stadium, what a place it is. Pat Summerall here with John Madden, and it's sad in many ways to be a part of the goodbye to this great arena, but it's an honor to be included.
Yeah, it's a real honor, and I think right now there's no place that I would rather be right now than right here at RFK Stadium, and because we've seen so many great players and so many great games here, and I know it has to be a special meaning for you because the first game that was ever played here, you kicked the ball off in the first game. You also scored the first extra point, and you made the first field goal here.
At that time, it was D.C. Stadium. That was a long, long time ago. They've got one more to play today. The Dallas Cowboys against the Washington Redskins. Doesn't mean much to Washington, but what kind of game do you think it'll be?
Well, you know, the Redskins are a little frustrated. I mean, at one point they were 7-1, and then another point they were 8-3, and they thought that this was going to be a meaningful game, and they're frustrated that they're playing their last game here at RFK, and it really doesn't mean anything. Now, on the other side, to the Cowboys, early in the week, Barry Switzer said it's like a bye week, and then he kind of took it back, but he is going to rest a lot of his players today. Troy Aikman isn't starting at quarterback. Wade Wilson will be the starting quarterback. Emmitt Smith isn't even active today. So we're not going to see all the Cowboys, but Barry Switzer did say, he said, we want to rest some players. We're looking towards next week in the playoffs, but we want to win today.
And you know, John, perhaps in the history of the NFL, certainly in modern history, there has been no rivalry like the one between these two teams. The chant went up just moments ago. We want Dallas. We want Dallas. Well, they're going to get them. And the Redskins are going to get the ball first as Boniol and the Dallas kickoff team are out on the field. Brian Mitchell and William Bell back deep for the Redskins. What a year Chris Boniol has had. Many think he should be the most valuable player on this year's edition of the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, Nate Newton was saying last night that, you know, how every year the quarterback will, you know, buy gifts for the offensive lineman or the running back. Yeah. He said this year it's Chris Boniol is buying gifts for the offensive lineman. He said that's the kind of year we've had.
They ought to give him a gift.
Right, if they didn't have him, they'd be in a lot more trouble than they are.
It's Brian Mitchell. And he breaks out of the pack out to about the 34-yard line where the Redskins will start. And let's look at the Redskin offense. Gus Farrat, who beat out Heath Schuler way back in training camp, has had a good year. Not great, but good. Some changes in the offensive line for Donish, the left tackle, Trey Johnson, Ulenake, Joe Patton at right guard, and Ed Simmons returns at offensive right tackle. Asher, Ellert, Westbrook, Bowie, and Terry Allen deep. He's the lone setback. Gus Farrat. That's knocked down. Intended for Henry Ellert, knocked down by Kevin Smith. Let's look at the Dallas defense. New faces there. Shante Carver, Herman McCormick, and Tony Casillas and Tony Tolbert up front. Chad Hennings didn't make the trip. Darren Smith, Fred Strickland, and Randall Godfrey. The linebackers. Sanders, George Teague, Woodson, and Smith start. But the two corners won't play very much. Chad Hennings did not make the trip because of an illness to his young son. Terry Allen, the ball carrier, got a couple of yards.
You know, it's interesting on that play, Pat. The Redskins got the Cowboys in a formation that made Deion Sanders a linebacker. And then they tried to run right at him, but Allen got stopped before he ever got to Deion Sanders. But that was an interesting thing by getting a receiver out on this side and motioning him the other way. Deion Sanders didn't run with him, and he got stuck in lining up and ended up in a linebacker location.
3 wide receivers. He's in a linebacker location again. Here's Ferrari. The pass to Brooks out of the slot or off the flank. Deion Sanders made the stop along with Roger Harper.
And they're going to go to work on Deion Sanders. If you're going to do anything on Deion Sanders, here's Deion Sanders here. You want to come up, bring him in a little, and then work inside. He's tough to work deep on, and he's tough to work out on. But here's the thing that you can do. You can bring him in and then get a move like that and then go to the inside. That's a pretty good move there by Bill Brooks. See what he did? He started him out and then came back underneath him.
Redskin first down. Here's a flea flicker coming if they can hang on the ball. They can't do it. Loose ball.
Oh, when a flea flicker doesn't work, the quarterback just ought to hold on to it.
I think Trey Johnson got his big bulk on it. That's bulk.
If he got his big bulk on it, the ball's going to come out of there flat. It's going to come out with just the bladder. Remember in the old days when there used to be a football and then inside the football they had a bladder?
Sure, yeah.
I think they're trying to get the bladder out of there right now.
Well, as a child, the Redskins got it. We played with a ball so old, sometimes the bladder came out the side.
Now watch this. It's going to be a handoff. Then Allen throws it back to Frott, and he drops the ball. Now right there, he should have just gone down. And then he's trying to do so. I have no idea what he's trying to do there, but you're right. It was Trey Johnson, but not his whole bulk. He didn't really get his bulk on it. He got maybe the bulk of his right arm on it.
That was Herman McCormick who was the first man to get there. And here's Farad back to throw. Screen pass. That goes to Larry Bowie. He gets a little, not much.
Remember when we did the first game of the season and Norv Turner was so excited about Larry Bowie?
Yeah, sure.
He had a real good training camp and a real good preseason, but once they started playing the regular season, all the changes and blitzes and different defenses kind of got to them, so they haven't played them much. And then Mark Logan was injured last week, the regular fullback, so we're going to see more Larry Bowie today.
3 wide receivers and Brian Mitchell. There's Farad back to throw it. Up the middle, incomplete. Intended for Westbrook.
The good news about that is that Farad had plenty of time. I mean, they really had excellent pass protection, and the Cowboys had no pass rush.
The rest of the good news is that Westbrook didn't get hurt.
I know it. And look at that first shot that he takes by Kevin Smith. Then he's going to come to the inside. I'll tell you, that football, when you do hold it that long and throw it in there, it's going to draw a whole bunch of different colored jerseys.
Here's a guy who's had a good year, Matt Turk. A very strong leg. I'll never forget back the first game of the year against the Eagles when he started to punt. It went out of the stadium. Kevin Martin was back deep for Dallas. Those of you that watch the Eagles who are in the playoffs defeat the Arizona Cardinals. That is a final. Let's go to the lineups for Dallas. Wade Wilson will open at quarterback. George Hageman in place of Tourné at left tackle. Newton, Donaldson, Larry Allen, and Eric Williams. The rest is as it usually is. Sherman Williams starts at deep back. Darrell Johnston, Kevin Williams, Irvin, and Armstrong opens at tight end. Two tight ends this time. That's Armstrong in motion. Wade Wilson gives to Sherman Williams. And he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Let's look at the Washington defense. This is where they've had their problems. Rich Owens, Sean Gilbert, William Gaines opening at one of the defensive tackles. Woods, the other defensive end. Patton, Stevens, and Harvey, the linebackers. And the secondary, Darrell Green, Richard Walker, and Carter. Carolina has beaten Pittsburgh 18-14. Here's Sherman Williams. Nothing. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
And Carolina has a first-round bye. How will they stop Cordell Stewart and the Steelers? Here on fourth down, Chad Cota picks off Stewart. So the Panthers, first-round bye, win the NFC West title. San Francisco will host Philadelphia next week. Back to Pat and John.
0-0 at RFK. You'll be home for Christmas, John.
Yep, there will be, right after this one, we'll be getting on old Highway 40 sometime and going across the country.
George Hegeman pulled out too soon. And they'll walk off 5 against Dallas.
Before the snap, false start by the offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Ed Hockules, the referee, by the way. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
I was just saying it's going to be, it'll be good to be able to go home and be home for Christmas. And of course the game out there will be the Eagles and the 49ers. That means that Green Bay has a first round bye in the NFC, as does Carolina, just finishing the game that we watched. So they win their division.
And Dallas will play Minnesota. Wilson intended for Armstrong, incomplete, a little high. So here's the playoff picture. First round matchups: Minnesota at Dallas, Philadelphia at San Francisco. Green Bay and Carolina get the byes.
Yeah, I wonder how many people picked this one down here. It was there, and then it went like that, and then it wasn't there. It used to be said like Carolina here.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people picked Carolina to win the Western Division. I wonder how many people really knew that Carolina was even in the Western Division.
Not a lot.
Or even knew that Carolina was in the NFC. What a job they've done.
They really have. Fair catch called for by Mitchell after a 40-yard punt by John Jett. Troy Aikman not in action.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. By the new Coors Light Wide-Mouth can. Tap the Rockies with a smoother pour. And by the Braun Flex Integral, designed to perform better.
One of the names in the circle of honor here at RFK Stadium, John Riggins, and there is the legendary Riggo.
And you talk about moments here and RFK and things that you remember. I think that's one of my biggest memories, is just Riggo running behind those Hogs.
Oh, I never forget that.
I mean, that was football. I mean, then then you were talking. I mean, the grass and the big running back, and here's one of those Hogs right there, Russ Grimm, one of the all-time Hogs. He's the tight end coach now for the Washington Redskins.
He got a Christmas card from Riggo. He was showing it us at practice yesterday.
Yeah, that was quite a Christmas card. Riggo, a picture of himself in a bathtub in a bathroom that had no wall.
Yeah.
It said still renovating.
William Bell takes the pass from Sparrott. And Deion Sanders.
You know, it looks like that back again, Pat.
Yeah.
It looked like it tightened up, and that's exactly what it's doing. I mean, here he is, and he goes up here to hit Michael Westbrook, and he gets a push. And again, I think it's just the movement, and right there at the end. I don't think it's anything where he was hit or anything, but you can tell it's a spasm where he just grabs it. But he stayed in there.
Yep. He waved him off. Bell again takes the reception from Farad. Stopped by Teague. That back spasm that he had out in Arizona, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Yeah, it happened in the pregame warm-up, and he's having one right now. And I would think if I were the Cowboys, I would get him out of there.
I would too.
I think if I were the Redskins, I would go to work on him. And I really have a feeling that neither side knows that he's just had a spasm.
Terry Allen, chased by Darren Smith, and taken down by Darren Smith.
Because remember Deion Sanders in that game, I know, he takes a lot of criticism for this and that, but when you take cornerbacks in this league, he's the best. And I don't think that anyone is going to argue about that. But, they always say, does he tackle? Is he tough? Is he all those things? That effort in Arizona, where he had that back spasm and he had to take the medication and so on, and then it finally came around and he came in and played in that game was really something.
He gets done what is necessary. Terry Allen hit hard by Fred Strickland and knocked down. I talk about a guy who's had a good year. Fred Strickland at middle linebacker.
Yeah, I think that has really helped the middle of that defense. I mean, they missed Leon Lett obviously in there, and I think they missed Charles Haley, and that's a big thing. They don't get the big pass rush. Strickland has helped them against the run, and the Dallas Cowboy defense has gotten more aggressive and going to more blitzes now without Leon Lett and Charles Haley.
3 wide receivers. Brought back to throw. Gets it to Brian Mitchell. That will not be enough for a first down, but it might get him in field goal range.
I think it did get him in field goal range, and one thing that has to be a big plus for Norv Turner, one is getting Ed Simmons back there at that right tackle, but he does have good pass protection today. I mean, the Cowboys really, other than that flea flicker thing, which was kind of just a mixed up play, the Cowboys really haven't gotten close to Gus Frerotte yet.
Scott Blanton back to try a field goal of 41 yards. The Redskins feel comfortable with their 2 kickers. Flag on the play. Movement.
Before the snap, false start by the offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
So it's a 46-yard field goal attempt coming up. Darrell Ashmore is the man who moved.
I think that was a smart thing by Scott Blanton, though, and all kickers try and do that. I mean, he heard that whistle, but he still kicked it because he wants to get into a rhythm. Now, of course, that rhythm has to include 5 more yards, but that's like if you were a golfer, being able to hit one before you hit your tee shot, to hit a warm-up type of shot to get in some kind of rhythm, which I have no idea what I'm talking about, getting in any rhythm, because I've never been in one in my life. But I know that's the way kickers think.
If you know how kickers think, there's the correct rhythm.
He had the rhythm.
The Redskins lead 3-0. Nothing Redskins. Many of the former Redskin players, those great players. There's one right there, Dexter Manley.
Hey.
Good to see you, Dexter.
Oh, it's my pleasure to see you guys again. This is what's going to be missed at RFK Stadium. You and John Madden made this tradition what it is. And I'm just so thankful to come back to Washington and do the Dexter Manley Crusade, stamp out drugs and illiteracy. I made a mistake. I want to stop other kids from making the same mistake.
Well, that's a great effort you're involved in now. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Kevin Williams on the kickoff return. Washington leading 3-0.
I saw you down there in the field in the pregame with Sonny Jurgensen and Billy Kilmer and Len Haas and all those guys. You guys look like I was watching, you look like you were enjoying some great stories.
We were sharing some of our memories on the field and off.
Was Len Haas snapping to Sonny Jurgensen?
Yeah.
Did I see him? Yeah, he was centering.
Sonny pulled out. He said, "You short-armed me again." Here's Wade Wilson. Pass is almost picked off. There's a flag on the play. Darrell Green almost intercepted it.
Yeah, we talk about all the old Washington Redskins and great Washington Redskins. There's one right there, Darrell Green. I mean, he's an amazing guy. 14 years in this league, and he lines up on Michael Irvin, and he does a heck of a job doing that. I mean, last time, remember in the game last time, Michael Irvin only caught one pass for 5 yards. Here they call pass interference or holding on him right there. It must be that left hand there. Again, I think you got to let him do something. I mean, you can't take all the physicalness away from a defensive back, and Darrell Green's not one of the more physical guys in this football league.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, John, he's a guy who will never be old.
No,
I don't care how long he plays.
No, and he has that, that bounce in his step and that glimmer in his eye, and he's a lot of fun, and football is fun to Darrell Green.
Sherman Williams behind the blocking of Nate Newton and Larry Allen.
Right, he has a little burst in there, didn't he? I'm talking about Williams, but watch Nate Newton here. Here he is here. He's going to start. He's a left guard. He's going to pull to the right. You see, and then at one point he's going to, boom, right there. He's going to kick out the first thing he sees. The first thing he saw was number 99, Rod Stevens, and he just knocked him down. That's the way to do it. You get in there and just root him out.
First down, Wilson back to throw it. Incomplete. His intended receiver, Darrell Johnson, fell down after the ball was in the air.
You know, you see that pass protection, and one of the reasons that Eric Williams has always been such a good pass protector is because he gets his hand up quickly. Now watch, the first thing you want to do is when that ball snaps, you want that hand to come up right now. You don't want to be late getting off on the ball. You see him right there? In fact, he has, what was Norv Turner calling it yesterday? He has a quick twitch, and that was one of the first things the Cowboys noticed about him.
Sherman Williams gets away from one tackler, gets to the 41.
Of course, he's also a powerful run blocker. Do you see what he did to Tony Woods that time?
Yes, I did.
I mean, he could just take a guy and then just boom, just boom into him. Watch him. He just booms in right there and then turns him that way. That's the way you create holes. Boom, right there. Now watch him turn him. I mean, he hit him so hard that he turned him initially.
Yep.
And he turned him with his boom.
Then he moved his feet. That's textbook.
Now, Eric Williams may not be as good as he once was, but I still think he's better than any of the other ones.
Better than anybody else. Find somebody better. Here's Wade Wilson, and he's going to take off, and he's going to get the first down. No slide from Wade.
Yeah, Wade Wilson hasn't taken a snap all year. Well, he did take a snap. He really, remember when Troy Aikman got a contact lens knocked out? Wade Wilson came in and did run a draw play, but he said he really hasn't played any since the last preseason game.
And he was really looking forward to this.
I know. I mean, this is what players want to do. There, he found the lane, faked with the ball, knew where the first down marker was, and just put his head down and went and got it. Troy Aikman said he's going to chart. I have no idea what he's charting.
Nobody else does. Michael Irvin had Wilson's pass right on the money. Troy's got a chart.
Yeah, he does. You ought to grade that. A throw, F catch. He's given grades. I mean, there's no way that Michael Irvin should drop that ball.
No way. You're right.
But he's up on top there, and he's going against Darrell Green. He's going to come up and just do a hook move. He makes a nice move, and he lets the ball get into him. That's why you have to catch a ball out in front of you so that it doesn't get in and hit him right there in his shoulder pad.
Catch it with your hands. Here's Sherman Williams. And he gets very little. Rod Stevens made the hit, the initial hit. 3rd and 11.
Yeah, we were talking to Norv Turner and the things that they need next year, and the first thing that he said is defensive out. Well, the first thing he said, he wants to keep the players that he has that are going to be free agents, get them signed.
Right.
That includes Gus Frerotte, Terry Allen, Sean Gilbert, and his 2 corners. Then get some more defensive help, then a wide receiver that can play 16 games.
Wilson back. Looking to screen it. Can't do it.
You know, the screen didn't get out there.
No.
He was trying to throw a screen, but he didn't get out there. I think it had to be Sherman Williams because the line was out there.
It was. There's the key free agents you were talking about.
Yeah, these are two offensive, of course, Terry Allen and Gus Frerotte. And then the three defensive guys, Sean Gilbert, and then his two corners, and of course, one being Darrell Green. And Darrell Green and the Washington Redskins just kind of go together.
Yeah, I don't think Darrell Green's going anywhere. I don't want to cut his negotiating power. But
you just did.
He might surprise a lot of people. That's a good kick. Cowboys will down it at the 5. Michael Irvin might be coming out of the gloves. Or certainly the tape. Michael Irvin taking care of his own tape job.
Well, he had a tape job underneath the glove that they took off, and they put the glove back on, and he's taping that left thumb again. He had, again, it was taped before he took the glove off, took the tape job off, and then taped over it.
Wholesale substitutions in the Dallas defensive unit. Pass is caught by Westbrook. And he is dragged down by Wendell Davis.
Well, Wendell Davis just went in there at that right corner for Deion Sanders. Charles Williams, number 42, is at the left corner for Kevin Smith. And Roger Harper is at the safety, for Darren Woodson. Kavika Pittman is now in there at right defensive end.
And Broderick Thomas has moved over to left defensive end.
So the Cowboys have made like 6 defensive changes on this stretch.
Outside to Terry Allen. There's Charles Mann. Just down at the bottom of your picture when Allen ran out of bounds.
You know, there's a guy that Terry Allen, you know, you go around the league and everyone has respect for Terry Allen. You know, you talk about the guy they have to stop, and anytime they ever talk or anything about the Washington Redskins, it's been Terry Allen.
Yep.
You know, that everyone likes and respects him and know that if they're going to stop the Redskins, they have to stop him first.
He's a tough guy. Hit by Teague.
You see what they did? The Cowboys blitzed on the left side. They had 2 guys blitzing there. Allen was going to run into it, and he just went to the other side. I mean, what? Here it's going. You're going to get the blitz here, and he just runs over there. You see the blitz right there? He just saw it, felt it, and ran away from it.
Yep.
And by getting away where they blitz to, that means that the other side has to be a soft side.
1st and 10, Redskins. They lead 3-0. Farad gives to Terry Allen again.
Yeah, and when the Redskins were really going well, Terry Allen was going well, and he was scoring touchdowns. In fact, Terry Allen has run for 18 touchdowns this year. That's kind of the good news for the Redskins, and he's been such a big part of their offense. But the other news is you see the first 8 and the last 7 games that kind of tailed off there as the whole team did. But the bad news is that he's a free agent after this season, and I'm not sure that they're going to get him signed.
Farad back to throw. And it's time. Gets it to Terry Allen. Allen down the sideline out of bounds in Dallas territory at the Dallas 35, 45, 35 make it.
Yeah,
Wendell Davis.
You just get the idea that the Redskins know how to play against the Cowboys. Remember last year they beat them twice. Here's Terry Allen right here. That Norv Turner knows this team, and he knows what to do against them. You know, and he just knows that those little things underneath, those crossing routes, you know, different guys have given him problem with that. That one there was deflected. Watch this, Pat. It's going to be deflected right here. Just changes a little right there, just enough, but it didn't make any difference. It still got to Terry Allen. But you just have a feeling that Norv Turner knows how to play against this team.
Steve Davis replaced Allen. Henry Ellard makes the catch, but there's a flag on the play.
See, after you get some running going, then you can go to that play pass where you fake the run, keep those linebackers up in there, and then throw the pass.
The penalty is against the Cowboys. The pass was complete anyway.
Charlie Williams again is a corner over there that took Kevin Smith's place. He was the guy that they worked on that play.
Personal foul, face mask of the defense, number 42. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
And that's Charlie Williams right there, and that's the guy that they not only worked on, but he got the penalty right there. You see him? He just put the hand in there, grabbed it, and then jerked it. I think putting the hand in there and grab is probably a 5-yard penalty, but when he got the jerk on Henry Allard, then that became a 15-yard penalty.
And the pass was complete anyway. Look at this. 7 players have caught a pass already today. 7 different players.
And I think, part of that is Gus Frerotte. I think the other part of that is Norv Turner, who I think really calls an excellent offensive game. When he gets in a rhythm himself, he gets the ball to a lot of different guys.
Good tight end set up. Here's Harry Allen. Inside the 5. At about the 5 as he's knocked sideways. Fred Strickland with the tackle. That's the end of the first quarter. The Redskins lead at 3-0, and they're at the Dallas 5-yard line.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
Happy holidays from us, Pat Summerall with John Madden, from all of us at Fox.
This is a great time of year. I think this is the best. When you got the holidays and you got the playoffs coming up, you can't beat this. Gus Frerotte was 7 out of 7. And that was the first incomplete pass that he's had in 8 games. I remember early in the season, in preseason, in fact, Norv Turner brought it up to me yesterday when they had Gus Frerotte and Heath Schuler, and they didn't know who the starter was. And I made a statement that I always says, when you have 2 quarterbacks, that means you have none. That if you really have 1 quarterback, you have 1, and then it's not 2. Well, anyway, Norv Turner told me yesterday, he says, I want to tell you now, he said, we have 1 quarterback.
And he's the one that's playing. And the Dallas blitz by Darren Woodson takes Frerotte down.
Woodson got in there, and Tony Casillas came flying around that corner too. Here's Tony Casillas, and you just watch what he does. You see, he's gonna start up, and then he comes to the outside. Here comes Woodson, and then right off of that comes Casillas.
Yep.
They didn't get Woodson blocked at all. Here's Wendell Davis back there. That's one way to do it, and in doing so, that Michael Westbrook is so big. Davis goes to hold him, grabs him, and hurts himself.
Blanton's field goal from 30 yards is good. And the Redskins will lead it 6-0. (6-0) Redskins. Kevin Williams and Herschel Walker back deep.
You look at that picture of RFK Stadium, and the tough thing about it is the finality. Realizing that there'll never be another football game played here.
Walker. And Herschel turns on the gas and gets to the Redskin 25.
Now, we talk about guys that have been pluses for this Dallas Cowboy team, and we talk about Bonio, and he's been a plus. Herschel Walker, as a kickoff return guy,
in that area,
has really been a plus. Because he's gotten them a lot of big plays. Herschel Walker right here. Watch, here's the wedge. The first thing you have to do is get up into your wedge, follow your lead. No one touches him. It's not that he broke any tackles or anything. There were no Redskins there. They were all blocked until they finally catch him from behind. No one touched Herschel Walker for what was that? 60, 70 yards, 63 yards. No one touched the man for 63 yards.
Kavika Pittman got an outstanding block. So did Kevin Williams, and that sprung Walker. And there's a guy ready to talk to us who had some great games here at RFK. Pat Fisher, what are your memories?
Well, this is just, it's fun to be back and see the Dallas Cowboys. It brings back some wonderful memories. The excitement of having to go through Dallas ever to win a division. They constantly asked that question, and who was the toughest to play against? It was always the Dallas Cowboys. So,
well, if you ask them who was the toughest to play is, they'd say Pat Fisher.
Well, we had a lot of fun. Bob Hayes, a great friend now, but always significant in whether or not you could beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, thanks, Pat. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Sherman Williams, the ball carrier, last play.
You know, Wade Wilson has been in this league for 16 years.
That's hard to believe.
And hasn't started a heck of a lot of games. Played with a lot of teams. But remember they played a championship game when he played for Minnesota here against the Redskins. The Redskins beat him when he threw a Darren Nelson pass at the end of the game.
Yep. Sherman Williams did not get the first down.
Yeah, they're celebrating a lot of things here today. Yeah. They're celebrating the Redskins on this play here, stopping the run. They say, defense, that's good defense. They're celebrating the last game here at RFK, and among other things.
Bonio will try from 35 yards away. And as we said earlier, without him, the Cowboys wouldn't be in the playoffs. And he hits again. He has made 27 consecutive field goals, a new record. And he has been just outstanding. Bonio, who just hit that 35-yard field goal, about ready to kick it off. 6-3, the Redskins lead Dallas. Bonio's kick sails high. It's going to be Mitchell at the 11. And Brian Mitchell cut down at the 30. And right now from McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Atlanta tried to play spoiler to Jacksonville's playoff hopes. Morton Anderson misses a 30-yarder. He hadn't done that since 1989. Merry Christmas indeed to Jacksonville. Back to Pat and Jar.
And so Jacksonville, as well as Carolina, in the playoffs.
That would have been something that you could have said before the season, and been a prophet that the two second-year expansion teams will both be in the playoffs, and one of them will win their division and win the division that the 49ers are in.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I think both of those organizations, have done an outstanding job. I mean, they did an outstanding job when they put their teams together and chose their coaches and staffs and did everything.
Well, good job in the free agent market, and a good job of drafting.
And it makes a lot of these other teams look bad. I mean, here they can come in, start up a whole team, and in 2 years be in the playoffs.
Yeah. How's Terry Allen?
Well, there was a collision. You see Fred Strickland, he's still down right here. But he got hit, and look, see, he's perpendicular to the line. I mean, he was square, and he got knocked into perpendicular. I mean, I saw that. You're going to see Fred Strickland, he's right here, but as that big load comes in there, he's going to get knocked perpendicular. See him square? He's square, he's square. Now he goes to hit. Look, he got knocked perpendicular.
Yes, he did.
And when you can knock the middle linebacker perpendicular, you can always make yardage.
He got hit by Bowie.
Okay, knock it up.
That's Terry Allen, cut down by Casillas. There's another guy who's played very well for the Cowboys, Tony Casillas.
I know, and then in the time that they needed Tony Casillas. I mean, they were able to pick up some guys, a Tony Casillas, a Broderick Thomas, a George Teague,
Fred Strickland.
Those kinds of guys, that have really helped this team. And it's Bonio that we talked about, and the other part of the equation that has brought this Cowboy team to the playoffs is their defense.
Gus Farrat for Terry Allen, incomplete.
One of the things that they're still playing Charlie Williams as a corner. Wendell Davis is playing that other corner because they want to rest Deion Sanders and Kevin Smith. But when they go to nickel, then they have to put those guys in.
Here comes Darren Woodson.
Yeah, see, they're bringing Woodson in now. They had Kevin Smith coming in, and then he went off. But they're still going to have to play when you go to, 6 or 7 defensive backs. Bill Bates isn't even active today for the Cowboys.
3 wide receivers. Farrat to throw. The rush is on. The pass is caught. Westbrook should get the first down. He's close to it. He's marking the ball. Going to have to get a different color shirt.
But he should have marked it before he went out. I mean, not after you go out. See, because he's going to see the marker right there. You see, there's the red thing. He has to stay in front of the red thing there, and he stepped on the wrong side of it. I think really that should be short. Watch where that foot is.
If that red thing is accurate, he is short.
Well, it's kind of, at what point in the red thing, and I would say it is accurate, and I would say that he is short, and I would say that the Redskins are going to go for it on 4th down.
I would say you're right.
And I would say Norv Turner says, what the heck? Here it is right there. You see that right foot right there? That's how much he left. If he would have been there, he would have been okay.
Yep. Allen is the deep back. Quarterback sneak, and that should be enough. Santa forgot to dye his hair.
Yeah, well, he forgot his beard. He was out last night, making toys and stuff, and his beard got knocked off.
Yeah.
But it'll be ready in a few days.
Somebody got a beard in their Christmas package. There it is.
There's
on a hog.
That one has his beard in the front, on the side, and in the back.
What would you do if that thing came down your chimney?
I would say, oh, Merry Christmas.
I doubt it.
I would.
Just as he released Henry Ellard, the intended receiver, covered well.
Gus Farrat was saying the other day that he's not sure if he's experienced enough to pull a team out of a tailspin. If he knows what to do. That he's playing. He's a real honest guy, and he said, "I'm not sure if I know how to do it. I mean, is this my fault that we're 7-1, we're 8-3, and then we end up like this, or what can I do about it?" He said, "I don't know."
Here's Farrat, gets to Terry Allen. Hit by George Teague and Darren Smith. Trey Johnson, he fills up a suit.
He sure does, and then even part of it is hanging out of there.
Next Sunday we will be at 3Com Park in San Francisco at 3:30 Eastern time, 12:30 Pacific, just across the bay from the home of John Madden.
Right, it'll be nice to be there, and I'm sure that Ray Rhodes is looking forward to that. I remember once this season he said he would love to play the 49ers in the playoff because Ray Rhodes was their defensive coordinator.
Brian Mitchell got the carry. Well, Ray Rhodes, Eagles, after looking so strong early in the year, struggled a bit at the end. I'm not so sure he wants to. Well, I'm sure he's happy to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and he wants to go against the 49ers. And right here what we have is, do the Redskins and Norv Turner want to go for it on 4th down? That last 4th down was easy because it was 4th down in inches. You just go for a quarterback sneak.
This was 4th and 4.
Yeah, this is a little tough. This is a passing situation. The Cowboys will be in their nickel defense.
Hits Brooks. And they get the first down. Cowboys blitzed him. And they didn't have time to get there.
Yeah, Gus Farrat can do that. I mean, he can get back, and he can get rid of the ball quickly, and he has some efficiency. Watch him. He's going to come back and just throw that slant. 1, 2, 3 step, boom, throw it right in there. That's a perfect throw. He looked all the way, and you knew exactly who he was going to.
And no pass rush is going to get there.
Yeah, and there's no Deion Sanders covering him either.
Drop fake to Terry Allen. Hits Henry Allard. Right at the 20. Charlie Williams was the cover man.
Yeah, I still think this is one of the toughest passes in football, the old bootleg, where you get the quarterback moving. He's moving out to his right, and he was looking for his crossing tight end, and then coming to the sideline to Henry Allard. Henry Allard working a comeback over there, and Charlie Williams. And Henry Allard over the years has worked a lot of outs and a lot of comebacks in this league. A bunch against a bunch of corners.
Probably is going to work a lot more. Westbrook gets the slant. And he signals for another first down.
Yeah, when Westbrook gets healthy and he can stay healthy, he has a chance to be a star.
He certainly has all the physical tools.
Well, what's the physical tools here? I mean, he can make that move inside it and just do like a basketball thing, and then the guys come to tackle him, and they just roll right off him.
Yep.
I mean, he weighs 220 pounds.
And he gets that big body in between the defender and the ball, and they just can't get around him. 13th play of this drive coming up. They go with two tight ends. This is Terry Allen. To the 1. Red Strickland tripped him up.
Allen loves to follow his off guard. Watch, it's going to be Joe Patton on this play. I mean, he's going to follow this guard here, and he's going to come around here, and Allen loves to get in behind his guard as his guard kicks out. See Joe Patton come there, boom, right there, that kickoff, and Terry Allen runs great off kick-out blocks.
First and goal.
You know, in the NFL, this is getting tougher and tougher. I think this is Dallas's problem in the red zone and scoring, and it's been the Redskins' problem that defenses are penetrating now. They used to have their linebackers read and goal line defense. Now they're penetrating their inside linebackers, and it's getting tougher and tougher to run down in the goal line area. And it's tough on Terry Allen, and it's been tough on the Dallas Cowboys and Emmitt Smith this year.
Should be Allen again. It is Allen again. And he'll walk around the corner. His 19th touchdown of the year. And the Redskins move further ahead. Number 21 scores for the 19th time.
There's all kinds of paper out there, Pat. Look at all this stuff that they throw here. The officials have to get that up.
That's called toilet paper.
I was going to say it's toilet paper, but I don't know. I mean, some of them, this kind of looks like rhythm. It's a different
machine paper.
Yeah, that's a different kind of paper. You got your basic toilet paper. You got your basic adding machine paper. Different, styles of papers when they score that they throw out in the field. You never get it all anyway. Do you see there's one piece there?
The extra point by Blanton is good. Touchdown by number 21, Terry Allen. 13-3 Washington. At RFK Stadium, the Redskins 13. Here's what happened on the extra point.
Watch Fred Strickland here, number 55. That's what the officials saw, and they penalized the Cowboys 15 yards after all the playing was done. So the Redskins now, instead of kicking off on the 30-yard line, they're going to kick off on the 45-yard line right here. Yeah. I don't know that these guys know about it yet.
Well, they should be able to kick it out of the end zone from there. So,
or the other thing is
onside?
This isn't a bad place to go for an onside kick. And in a game like this, why not? Because you have to kick it 10 yards.
Right.
So you have to kick it at least to here, which is the 45. The Cowboys don't have a lot of offensive firepower anyway. And if you're going to try an onside kick, this isn't a bad situation.
Well, Skins will have a chance to return it. Not much of a chance. He is flung down by Stanley Richard. And Washington leads 13-3. All ready for the holidays. And one of the original Hogs and one of the great linemen ever to play, Joe Jacoby.
All right, guys. Yeah, Joe, you know, every time I think of RFK, I always think of you guys and Riggins. And what are your memories?
Right along that line. I mean, what we had in those early 80s with John and the guys we had up front, it was a great feeling. I think we had a good combination with John as the running back, a bruising fullback, and the guys we had up front were just slug guys.
That was great. You and Russ Grimm, and you know, and I always thought Donnie Warren was part of that deal too.
Well, Donnie was part of that deal. You know, now they got these pass-catching tight ends, but Donnie was more of our extra guard that just lined up as a tight end, and we had him, and we just had a great time, and we enjoyed each other, and there's some great memories here in this stadium, and what a better way to end than playing the Cowboys.
Well, Joe, thank you so much. It was a pleasure watching you.
Well, thank you, Pat, and it's been a pleasure, and thank you guys.
They provided a lot of great memories for us, and a lot of great pictures.
Good job, guys.
You know, talking about great pictures, did you just see Nate Newton walk through there? He's losing weight. I mean, Nate, I think, lost 20 or 30 pounds. Look at him. I mean, that's not the same guy that started the season.
I see his the muscles in the back.
I know it. I think Nate lost about a guy.
I know where the weight went.
The Derek Kennard there, who they just signed a week ago. But I think Nate lost a guy.
Pass complete to Darrell Johnston. The one before was to Johnny Mitchell.
I don't know that Wade Wilson didn't get hurt on that play, Pat. He went down, and he was really slow to get up.
He's limping a bit.
I think we're going to see Jason Garrett. I know we talked to Ernie Zampese last night, and he was saying that he would like to get Jason Garrett into this game. Jason Garrett being the third quarterback, he said, just because he deserves it. And he doesn't want to get in there. He doesn't want Wade Wilson to get hurt, but he would like to have an opportunity for him to play in the second half some.
Here's Wade Wilson back to throw. Gets it outside to Kelvin Martin. And he gets a Cowboy first down before he's brought down by Scott Turner.
Yeah, we were talking about Wade Wilson, and not only has he not played all year, but they don't even get any practice. Ernie Zampese, the offensive coordinator, has a philosophy that the only guy that gets snaps during practice, here's Ernie Zampese right here, the only guy that gets snaps during practice is the starting quarterback. That neither backup quarterback gets to practice one single play during the week. The starter takes every play. So Wade Wilson said that, you know, part of this thing is playing. The other part is getting to practice for a week.
And this guy you just looked at, Troy Aikman, gets all the practice every week. Timeout. Today's great bird's eye views of Washington are being brought to you by the new Miller Eagle airplane. Miller Brewing is testing the Eagle as an exciting new way of providing fans aerial views of sports television. And that's certainly an outstanding view today from the Eagle. Wilson, incomplete. Sherman Williams.
You know, one of the things that Michael Irvin is trying to do, I'm not sure whether Wade Wilson is trying to do it or the coaches are trying to do it, but Michael Irvin needs 45 yards in receptions to gain 1,000 yards, and so he would like to get his 1,000 yards today. And he hasn't caught a pass, and his play against the Redskins, remember the last time they played on Thanksgiving Day, he only caught one pass for 5 yards. Darrell Green plays on him most of the time, and that's the matchup you see right there, and Darrell Green has won that the last 2 matches.
Sherman Williams. The completion from Wade Wilson. How many playoff games have the Redskins lost here at RFK Stadium? How many playoff games have they lost at RFK Stadium? It's a place with great tradition, great memories, great games. How many playoff games have they lost? Think about it. 13-3, Washington over Dallas. Summerall, John Madden at RFK Stadium. We won't be able to say that much longer, John, but this is a great place.
Well, we have 2 minutes here and then one more half, and that'll be the last NFL game played here.
Right. Third down. They need about 3. Sherman Williams deep. Wilson drops it out to Kevin Williams, and he drops the ball. The Cowboys will have to punt. That Aflac trivia question: how many games, playoff games, had the Redskins lost here on their home ground? Their record is 11-1. The only time they lost in the playoffs here was 1984 to the Chicago Bears.
You know, and part of that were the great players they've had and the great coaches they had. And another big part of it were the great fans that they had here. This, for the home team, this is a great place to play. Great place.
No better fans anywhere. Jet hangs one high. And the ball bounces into the end zone.
I think it bounced off of Billy Davis there. Billy Davis could have caught that ball there.
Charles Haley and Tony Tolbert.
There's a pair to draw to.
The date was December the 17th, 1961. As Norm Snead handed off to Dick James for one of his 4 touchdowns, the Redskins snapped a 23-game losing streak for their first ever victory here at DC Stadium, their only victory of 1961. It was first known as DC Stadium.
How did you feel when you kicked the first ball off here? Was there anything special?
I don't remember.
You just put the leg to it.
I don't remember anything special. Open for the Redskins. Michael Westbrook.
This guy is a heck of a player. You know, they talk about him, they're not sure how he practices, his injuries. He has a torn cartilage. He has a bad ligament in his knee, and he was wearing a big brace, but I just think he lulled some people to sleep. And watch him here. That's a little stop and go. That is a great pass pattern. That's the old stop and go, and then the catch. I mean, looking up over his shoulder. Watch just looking up over the shoulder, and then know it's going to be over that left shoulder, and watching it right into your hands and staying in bounds and doing all those things.
A pretty good throw, too.
Yeah, and that was in addition to the move.
Go deep again to Westbrook. Incomplete. Hit Charlie Williams in the head.
Well, the first time he worked on Wendell Davis over on the other side, then he was going to work on Charlie Williams that time. I think he threw a perfect pass the time before. Here, I think he put a little too much air under that one. Had he put a little more oomph on that thing, that could have been a touchdown to Michael Westbrook. Westbrook already has 80 yards of catches. He's caught 4 passes for 80 yards. And if he doesn't watch out, I mean, if he can stay healthy and play 16 games, this guy, like I said earlier, he's going to be a star in this league.
He might even make the old Madden team.
Yeah.
Mitchell bounces on the ground at about the 1-yard line. George Teague finally got him down.
Now, Ed Simmons had missed 5 games. He's starting again today, and that's when they're running right in on that right side. They're going to run the ball right in here. See, here's Ed Simmons here. He comes down and he gets his guy. There's big Trey Johnson. He comes in and gets Darren Woodson. He gets him and turns him, and then they run by what's left. You know, they do a great job at pulling that off guard. See how Trey Johnson got Darren Woodson there? Those are big blocks.
All the way down to the Dallas 3. At the half, the Dockers Khakis halftime report coming up. JB, Terry, Howie, and Ronnie scores highlights in the playoff picture. And it's gotten more and more clear.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a lot easier for him at halftime than it was before the game or this morning.
That's Brian Mitchell. Did he get in? Jim Swans.
Look at Gus Frerotte. He's in there for some action. He's punching. Gus Frerotte was down there throwing body punches, I think.
He got out of there in a hurry, too.
Well, he did after he realized, what the heck am I doing in a place like this? but he's a competitor. He has some fire in him. And watch him. They're going to get this ball in there again. They pulled Joe Patton to the offside. This is a play that Terry Allen scored on earlier. And Brian Mitchell, had he just put his head down and burst, that would have been a touchdown.
About a foot they need for a touchdown. That's Terry Allen. And I don't think he got it. Yes, he did. Touchdown. Touchdown, Terry Allen, his second of the day and his 20th of the year.
He did a Green Bay. Did you see that, Pat?
Yeah.
Terry Allen put the ball down and he ran into the stands. It looked like he tripped just before he got to the goal line.
Brings up second down.
Oh, in fact, they said that it wasn't good. I thought that he tripped, and they're going to say that his knee was down. But again, they have to blow the whistle, too.
He was down right there.
Yeah, and you see the knee down, and it's where the ball is when the knee's down. You see the knee. Now when the knee goes down, where's the ball? See, the ball hasn't broken the plane yet when the knee went down. They still have to blow the whistle, though. If they don't blow the whistle, that doesn't mean anything.
He lost about a foot, actually, on that carry.
Well, one official said it was a touchdown, and then they brought it back a yard.
This one won't count. Illegal motion against Washington.
Yeah, the whistle blew before the ball was snapped. But that's what you have to do against these goal line defenses today. They're just getting tougher and tougher to run against.
Before the snap, false start by the offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Darrell Ashmore.
Darrell Ashmore is the extra lineman playing tight end. You see, he just moved right there. You know, the funny thing about it, he really wasn't even part of the play. It was going to be a play fake to that side, and they were going to throw to the other side. There was no reason for Darrell Ashmore to move.
But how often does that happen?
Well, yeah, because, you know, a lot of times it happens because it's not coming to your side. You really have nothing to do. You don't concentrate as much as you would if the play were coming to you.
That's exactly right. The touchdown pass was from Farrat to Scott Galbraith.
I still don't know exactly how they took that touchdown back. I mean, someone had to overrule because we did see the one official did say it was a touchdown.
Had to be the referee at Hockey League. Third and goal at the 6 now. Farrat back to throw. Westbrook is saying he was held.
But now you look here, Pat, there's only 2 seconds to go here.
Against Dallas.
So I think the Redskins are still going to have to kick a field goal.
By the defense, number 24 in the end zone. The ball is placed on the 1-yard line, first down.
Ball against Roger Harper.
See, this is going to be an interesting thing here. What do you do? Do you go for it on 4th down, or do you kick the field goal? Because you're only, I mean, you go for it at first down, but you're only going to have 1 play left because you have 2 seconds.
They have 2 timeouts left, but they will have time to call a timeout.
Yeah, they still only have the 2 seconds, so Norv Turner decides here that he's going to kick the field goal, and I think that's what you have to do.
Well, we've seen him fake field goals before. I doubt they'll do it this situation, but he puts the field goal team in.
Yeah, and the thing that he was up against, again, he got the first down because of the pass interference in the end zone. Got the ball in the 1-yard line. He'd already taken a couple runs at it, a play pass, had the penalty. So he figures, what the heck, we got down there. Let's have something positive come out of this.
So Blanton hits the field goal from 19 yards away, and the Redskins add 3 more. That's the end of the first half with the score. Washington 16, Dallas 3. J.B. Howie, Ronnie, and Terry will be along with the Dockers Khakis halftime report following these messages.
The Hill gang, I remember McDowell when he played at Buffalo, and then when he was through it, then George Allen picked him up and lo and behold, there he is with a ponytail. Who would have thought?
He makes the hat look small.
He makes the jersey look small. He used to make offensive linemen look small. Yeah, this is what I love about Darrell Green. I mean, Darrell Green enjoys every moment. You know, in his life, he's always making a memory. And right now, Darrell Green is making a memory. Barry Switzer's not sure what this is all about. He'll high-five the band. Dexter Manley enjoyed this as much as anyone. I think the way he ran out in the field and was waving and jumping and skipping. And
there's Lenny Hawes.
He was out on the field before the game, snapping to Sonny Jurgensen.
There's Riggo.
I think the real love fest here is with John Riggins and his fans. I think it always has been.
There's Bobby Mitchell, who's part of the administrative staff of the Redskins now. He's the first black player ever to play here.
And they're all enjoying this moment. They're taking a lap now. This is kind of a victory lap. Gary Clark. Just had him. We were doing that all-time Super Bowl team and have Gary Clark as part of that.
Charlie Taylor started off as a halfback, wound up as a wide receiver, but
they were out there in the middle of the field, and now they go around and take this lap, which is great because then all the fans get to see him, all the fans in the stadium. John Riggins, you talk about memories, and Riggins is a big part of the memories of this place for me.
Kevin Williams. Flag on the second half kickoff. Holding. Been a great week, really, for us, John. We were in Chicago on Monday. The all-time, all-Madden Super Bowl team. Don Maynard and Joe Namath. There's Jerry Kramer, the great guard for the Packers. Excuse me, go ahead.
No, I mean, it was just so, I mean, the history. You start with those guys, you know, played in Super Bowl I.
How about those two?
Two of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played in this game. And that show's going to be on Super Bowl Sunday, where we kind of have a history of the Super Bowl and all-time Super Bowl players.
I hear it's so good they made it longer.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's one of those things that I don't know if it's good television or not, but it sure was fun to see all these players. Like these guys right here are having fun now. I mean, it's a reunion. They're back, and you put the Hogs on a bale of hay. I mean, they don't even give them a golf cart, and I think that's fitting.
I think it's more than one bale too.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that a big old Joe Jacoby and Bostic and those guys in Warren and May and so on, they shouldn't be in golf carts. They ought to be given a big old truck. Sit on a bale of hay, man. If you're a Hog, that's the way you go.
An injured Redskin on the player. An injured Redskin on the kickoff return, still down. And let's see.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the car that's here today and here tomorrow. The new Galant from Mitsubishi, built for living. By Gillette Sensor XL and the Gillette Series. Gillette, the best a man can get. And by Dockers Khakis. Hey, nice pants.
Back in the nation's capital. Tough way to end the year. Catano.
Well, you're going to see. Here's Al Catano right here. And you just see right there, he gets rolled up upon, gets that leg, and they put a splint on it already and put him in the golf cart and took him off the field. See that splint on that right leg?
Sherman Williams, the ball carrier, straight ahead. Not much doing.
One of the things that the Cowboys are trying to do is really to win and to play without their guys, and it's a difficult situation because even when they have their guys offensively, they haven't had any continuity all year. And like Ernie Zampese was saying last night, offensively, from training camp. We always thought we were going to break through, and we never did break through this year, so you can't expect these guys to break through.
Here's Wade Wilson back to throw. Sherman Williams dropped it. A flag on the play. Troy Aikman over on the sideline. He has gone from the clipboard to the headset.
Well, see what happens is he has the headset now. Usually Jason Garrett does that. Here's Jason Garrett. They keep moving back and forth every time I do it. But I think that Ernie wants to get
Illegal
Jason
contact
Garrett
by the
ready to
defense.
play.
Number 25, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Called against Tom Carter. It's an automatic first down. Ed Hockley, the referee, you heard him say that.
Because what the Cowboys were talking about, of course, Jason Garrett is usually on the phone, and Ernie Zampese calls the play down to Jason Garrett, who calls it into the headset of the quarterback. So now Troy Aikman is calling it into the headset of Wade Wilson this half.
That's Walker. Look out, Wade. Redskin blitz catches him.
That's why they miss Emmitt Smith. You know that Emmitt Smith is a great runner, but you also have to block.
Marcus Patton, the first man to arrive.
Yep. Oh, don't mess with him.
No,
I wouldn't mess with Marcus Patton. But the thing is you're going to see him come from this side here, and the guy that has to block him is Sherman Williams, and he doesn't get it done. You see right there, he throws an air ball, and that's the problem. I mean, you have a running back. The running back has to be able to run, but in this league, the running back has to be able to pass protect.
Especially if you're the only remaining back. Wade Wilson gets it to Michael Irvin. And Irvin gets across the 30, about the 32. Not enough for a first down.
Yeah, and that's his first catch. We talked about why Michael Irvin is playing, which I think is stupid anyway. To play for a reason to get 1,000 yards and you need 45. You either play to win the game and play to play the game, or you don't play if you're going to sit out. But he's trying to get 45 more yards so that he has 1,000 yards. But I think those things should just come naturally or not come. You don't manufacture it.
Wade Wilson back. Again, Sherman Williams can't find the handle on a crossing pattern. He dropped it, and the Cowboys have to punt.
Those are the things that, again, getting back to Emmitt Smith, that make him such a great running back is that he does run with the ball when you need a runner, but if you need a blocker, he blocks. And you saw Sherman Williams miss that block. And if you need a receiver, he's a good receiver, and you just saw Sherman Williams drop a pass.
Emmett made the trip, obviously, but he's not in uniform. He's on the inactive list. He's one of those guys that you can't keep out of the game if he's dressed.
And they're going to need the heck out of him next week.
Fair catch signaled by Brian Mitchell. And the Redskins will take over after a 40-yard punt by John Jett. No return. The aerial views that you've been seeing of today's game coming from the Miller Eagle. That view right there. The Eagle is a unique twin-engine airplane that has been designed to provide these terrific shots. Miller's testing the Eagle this season. An airplane, not an airship. Here's Ferrari. Incomplete. Michael Westbrook, intended receiver, flag on the play. It'll be against Dallas. That adds up to a pretty successful first half, I'd say.
Well, that's the thing that we talked about. Such a good job that Norv Turner does in calling plays, and not only mixing it to different receivers, but throwing for different positions on the field. Again, on one hand, that this doesn't count for anything for the Redskins. They're not going to be in any playoffs or anything, but there's only one reason to play the game. You still go out to win. I mean, if you're a player and you're competing, that's what you go out to do, and the Redskins are doing that.
Rod gives to Terry. You go out to win. You go out to play hard.
Yeah, that's what I think you always do, is just to go out to play hard. I was never a big believer that you needed a reason to win, because I always thought, well, what happens if you don't have a reason to win? I mean, you know, they say, well, they don't have any reason to play. You got a reason to play. I mean, there's another team there. That's your reason to play. And I always thought if someone could turn it on and turn it off just because they wanted to or didn't want to, they weren't one anyway.
A lot of people think they can, but you just can't do that.
No, and that's why it's so good to see a big Ed Simmons in there at right tackle. I mean, he's missed 5 games, coming off a knee injury. He didn't have to come back and play today.
Norv was talking to me before the game down on the field. He was saying, you guys need something to talk about. Talk about Ed Simmons. He's been hurt. He didn't have to come back and play today. Talk about guys playing with their heart, and guys who don't need something to play for, guys who want to be a part of the Redskins and want to be a part of this whole effort.
Yeah,
terrific.
And they want to be just because he's a football player and there's a football game to be played.
And we want to win whatever we're playing. Right. Henry Ellis to the 5. Chased down at the 5 by George Teague.
Yeah, they worked on the rookie Wendell Davis over there, number 35, and he's just going to misjudge that play. See, Henry Ellis, there's Wendell Davis there, 35. Now watch him. He starts up here. He starts in, and he just misjudged it. He tries to undercut it or something. I don't know if he saw that ball or not, but he tried to undercut that thing, and it just threw it right over his head to Henry Ellis.
There's a flag on the play as well.
Well, that's a face mask right there that you see by George Teague after Wendell Davis was beaten. That's a tough thing. First of all, Wendell Davis, the corner, is beaten by Henry Ellard. And then to top it, George Teague comes over and adds a penalty to it.
Teague got his hand off the mask as fast as he could, but he still grabbed it. 2 tight ends set up for the Redskins. Second today.
It was really the third. Remember, they gave him one earlier and then took it away from him. But I tell you, he loves to run in behind Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson, his left guard, pulls on that play to the right. Terry Allen just gets right in behind him.
That's a big back to hide behind.
And that's what Trey Johnson does well, you know, is pull and lead. A lot of teams lead with their fullbacks, like the Dallas Cowboys with Darrell Johnston. The Redskins will lead with their guards.
Blanton for the extra point to put the Redskins further ahead, 23.
That's number 77, Trey Johnson. See that? That was the block that got Terry Allen in.
23-3.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
.47 left in the third quarter. Redskins to kick it off. They lead by 20 points. 23-3. Kevin Williams tripped up and down at the 23. Here again, the touchdown.
Yeah, we were talking about Trey Johnson and what a good job he does of coming and kicking out right here so that Terry Allen can get it in. The guy that does a poor job is Roger Harper there. On the goal line, you can't stand and wait. Watch Trey Johnson right there. Boom. Harper waits. Terry Allen just runs right over him. But if you're in the goal line, you better penetrate. When Roger Harper, had he taken that hole, that would have been tough to get a touchdown. He just stood in the goal line.
Penetrate, don't hesitate. Wade Wilson swings it outside to Herschel Walker. To the 43, first down, Cowboys. Dallas total yards, 27 rushing, 42 passing. And you get out distance considerably.
Well, here's Herschel Walker lined up here as a wide receiver. He just runs a little hook, and all they're trying to do is just get the ball to Herschel Walker out in the open field and let him use his strength and his speed.
Now he's in the backfield with Sherman Williams. Walker is. Here's Wade Wilson. Sherman Williams can't find a handle again. And right now for McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
All right, Pat, take a look at Philadelphia. Mike Mabula. Great play, forces the fumble, picks it up, takes it in for the score. Philadelphia wins comfortably. That sets up next Sunday right here on Fox. Philadelphia at San Francisco. Wild card action begins then. Back to Pat and John.
And we'll be there with the wild card action next week. 2nd and 10. Flags fly everywhere. Sherman Williams gets the ball. William gains into the Cowboy backfield, but jumped off sides.
Yeah, that's why he was into the Cowboy backfield, because he left before the rest of them did.
That usually happens.
Offsides by the defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Ed Hockley hooked one of his other officials on the way by. Did a clothesline.
That's what you always have to watch out when you're another official. You have to watch for anything flying on around out there. Seems like we've seen more officials this year get hit, especially that guy right there, that umpire. You know, and he's the guy, behind. He lines up right here. That's the toughest position in officiating.
Here's Sherman Williams. Gets the 1st down. Hops around, jumps out of a couple of tackles. Keith Taylor.
Sherman Williams is doing the running part all right. He's having trouble with the other parts of being a running back. He's already dropped 3 passes today, and he did a couple Olay blocks, and those are important things too. I mean, they don't go statistically. It doesn't go how many blocks did you miss, but I think when he's in there, I would think that would bring about a lot more blitzing than if Emmett Thomas or Evan Smith were in there.
Olay blocks. Flag him by, huh? Wilson goes deep for Irvin. Safety man got over. Stanley Richards, and he intercepts for the Redskins.
Stanley Richards, a free safety on that one. I didn't know that he had control of the ball, but they said that he did. He's a free safety, and he jumps over. Here's Stanley Richard right here, and you see the ball is thrown short and to the inside, and he does have control going down, but then it looks like Michael Irvin took it out of there. See, he has the ball now.
Incomplete.
And then they ruled it to be incomplete again.
I thought so.
I thought when I saw it with my raw eyes that it was incomplete.
Raw eyes are good.
And then they gave it to him, and then you look here, and it looks like it's incomplete. Michael Irvin stood there and argued about it, and he won the argument. So much for that old deal. They say it doesn't pay to argue.
Yeah? Who said that?
I don't know. My mother used to tell me that. And then, guys, when I was coaching, and playing baseball, there was a doesn't pay to argue. And then because I never had coached it, I never won an argument. So I always learned that it never paid to argue. And then, lo and behold,
You never lost an argument?
No, I never won an argument. When I was a coach, I never won an argument. I always
with an official, you mean?
Yeah, with an official.
Sherman Williams. Rod Stevens spun him around and slung him down.
Here's Stevens in here, and here's the guy that makes these 2 things happen. Sean Gilbert in there by getting the penetration. You see here, when he gets the penetration right there, then they get it from the outside, and then Stevens can come up. You see, now watch him. He moves in here. You see, and he gets the penetration right there, so there's no cutback, and that forces Williams to the outside into Rod Stevens.
4 wide receivers. Wilson throws the interception to Scott Turner. And down he goes. The Redskins take over.
Well, Wade Wilson just threw that one up for grabs. He was getting a pass rush. And that has to be on the pass rush. He just went to get rid of that one. But Jim, here he gets the blitz, and then you see he just throws that away in the middle. I mean, there's no way that anyone had a chance to catch that ball.
I don't think that pass rush was that severe.
No, but he felt something, and he threw it away, and I don't know what Kelvin Martin was doing. I mean, the ball was there for Kelvin Martin, and he let the guy jump in there and intercept it. Then he just stood there and watched it. And I don't care what the game. I mean, there's a game to be played. You got to go play.
And let's play.
And I'll tell you, the Redskins are, and the Cowboys aren't.
Barry Allen cuts it back for 3. Godfrey Miles made the stop.
You know, the thing is, and I think that, you know, like Norm Turner was saying yesterday, the Redskins are going to win a lot of games this year, and you're going to look at the record and say there's a lot of teams that were in the playoffs, close to being in the playoffs with that record, but it's not the games they won or the games they lost, it's when and how they won the games they won and the games they lost.
2 tight ends this time. Incomplete, intended for William Bell. Pass that worked earlier in the day a couple of times.
You know who's been quiet today is Jamie Asher. Yesterday when we talked to the Redskins and Norm Turner and Jamie Asher, they thought that he would be a big part of their offense. They thought that they could throw the ball to their tight end, and you know, last time they played him, they threw some outs and stuff to him. They thought this time they could run some inside stuff to him, and he hasn't caught a pass all day.
He had a big game, remember, against the Eagles. 2 wide receivers this time. No flags. Here's Farad. Intended for Brian Mitchell, and there was a miscommunication of some sort.
You know, that's one of those option things. Remember years ago that Dave Meggett used to run with the Giants, where they called it scat, and you go in, and if the guy plays you inside, you go out, and if he plays you outside, you go in.
Speaking of Dave Meggett, big day he had yesterday for the Patriots as they came from way behind to get the home field advantage in the playoffs to beat the Giants. Matt Turk hangs one way up there. Fair catch called for by Kelvin Martin. And the Cowboys take over at about the 19-20 yard line. Redskins, however, lead it 23-3.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to hold up your greatest moments poster with the yellow side facing the field on the count of 1, 2, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Posters up. Thank you.
Talk about your fans. For years and years they've been here. Sherman Williams.
And that was their tribute to RFK. And they say they came here, and that was their way of saying thank you. They all gave RFK a standing ovation.
One of the players said earlier, the only time I've ever felt the earth shake was here at RFK.
And I felt the earth shake here at RFK, and I know we felt this booth shake at RFK.
Sure have.
I've seen this thing up in here would shake at RFK.
Here's Wade Wilson back to throw. Kevin Williams this time makes the catch.
You know, is it raining out there? You know, I think, Pat, when they gave that tribute to RFK, I think it started to rain at the same time, or snow, or whatever that is. They all stood up. All the people stood up, and I was watching them, and they gave that tribute, and then this came at the same time.
Well, this place has seen some games played under some conditions. They used to paint the dirt here. And the mud, you'd come out all stained green.
Oh, they had the best green dirt in the league.
Yep. Walker has the pass go right through his arms. There's a flag on the play. Ed Hockley headed up to check it out.
That's going to be against the Redskins, and Barnes on that one. He got in there a little. You know, that's the thing with that slant pass. You get a couple of goes on it. One, you may complete it, and there's a lot of pass interference on that play.
Interference by the defense. Number 27, automatic first down.
Keith Taylor.
Yeah, you see here he is here, and he's going to run that slant. And you see what happens. You see when you go to jump in on that slant, if you have any contact while the ball's in the air, it's going to be pass interference.
And an automatic first down. The Cowboys have it at their own 46, trailing by 20 points. Sherman Williams lost the ball, and the Redskins appear to have it.
Sherman Williams may not play a down in the playoffs.
Rod Stevens came up with it. Was going to spike it, but then he thought better. I better signal for a first down. 23-3 Washington. A little steam rising in RFK.
You can't beat that shot. I mean, that's something you always love, is when the sweat comes out of the top of your head. You know, that's why, you know, they always say that heat escapes out your head, and that's a picture of it.
And if you keep your head warm, you can stay warm. Straight ahead is Terry Allen.
That's what they always say about cold. It comes in your feet and goes out your head. We just had a picture of it going out your head. You know, in that fumble by Sherman Williams, I think Rod Stevens may have grabbed his elbow, but that ball came out of there way too easily.
2nd and 2. Here's Terry Allen getting a workout, but not a first down. Stopped by Hervin McCormick. Godfrey Miles.
Look, Ray Childress is in there now, number 72, the defensive tackle they picked up when Leon Lett was suspended. They just picked him out. He was kind of in retirement.
Kinda. He was in retirement.
Well, he was in retirement. He was kind of on a ranch or something, wasn't he? In retirement.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's in you know, in the harness again. He has the football gear on, and he's playing games and going to the playoffs. And who would have thought? Remember all those great years that Ray Childress had with the Houston Oilers, both as a defensive end and a defensive tackle.
Some player. That's Brian Mitchell. Cut down right at the line of scrimmage. Speaking of a guy who spent a lot of time in the defensive line and a guy who looked like he could still be there, Dave Butts. Dave, how you doing?
Good, gentlemen. Thank you very much for letting me talk to you.
Yeah, Dave, you know, we talk about memories we had here at RFK, and one of mine was always you playing and your helmet, you know, looked like it just got in a bus wreck or something, and you walking off the field with your son. Those were great memories.
There's people that still come up. He's 19 years old now, and you go to an airport and they come by and they say, "How's little Dave?" or "How's that little guy that held your helmet up?" So there's a tremendous number of people that remember that, which is fine with me.
Dave, is your son as big as you?
No, little Dave's he's littler, but he's smarter.
Hey, what are your greatest memories, Dave, of being here at RFK?
I think we had a defensive classic game here. I think there was 32 punts per side. I think score was 5-3. It was a wet and rainy day. Tremendous effort. Just went in the locker room, sat down. The trainer felt really sorry for me. I must really look pitiful, and came over the first time in my life and cut tape off of me. And I thought either I was going to die or he was going to help me.
You didn't do that,
right?
How'd you feel out there in the field at halftime? What was that like?
It's good. These are very good fans, and they're very, very helpful, especially if the game is really close. They get rocking. The quarterback can't hear it all. It upsets the offensive line. They forget really what they're doing. So it's really an advantage to have the fans here, have them so close. They get together and start really working. They have an effect on the offense.
Well, Dave, good luck to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great Christmas.
You too. Dave Butts. Nobody knocked him ever backwards.
Well, the one thing that you couldn't do against Dave Butts is he played defensive tackle, and you couldn't run at him, and you couldn't run away from him and cut back into him. I mean, his area, he was very, very possessive about his area.
He owned it.
Did you used to know a guy named Fishhook?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, when I was a kid, yeah. Fishhook sold peanuts. Sherman Williams, the ball carrier.
Where'd Fishhook sell peanuts?
On the corner, Main Street. Yeah, I knew him well.
Everyone should know a Fishhook in their life. There's Derek Kennard getting a little playing time. You know, they just kind of signed him for insurance. And, you know, he didn't expect to play a lot, but sometimes, you know, getting a little playing time like this will help if they need you to play off.
Wade Wilson, they bobble. Momentarily, then the quarterback sneak.
I think as you see Barry Switzer down there, I think his idea is to just get out of this game and not get any players injured. He's not going to take any chances. They don't get the first down here. And
nope.
Redskins have forced them to punt. Today is a Redskins day. And you just watch it control this line of scrimmage. You see the ball, and you have to get underneath their shoulder pads, and you have to get down, and you have to win that battle of leverage. And the Redskins won that little battle of leverage right there.
The Redskins as a team day. It's the Redskins fans day. It's the former Redskins day.
And they're just using the Cowboys as an opponent.
Yep. Brian Mitchell gets back to. Here is the NFC Mitsubishi playoff picture. Green Bay, Carolina, and Dallas, the division champions. The wild cards, the 49ers, Minnesota, and Philadelphia. Philadelphia goes to the 49ers next week, and Minnesota goes to Dallas. Have I got it right?
Yeah, I think you had it right. I think that order was wrong.
Here's Gus Frerotte. Throws high. Flag on the play. It's going to be against Washington.
You know what's going to happen is they're going to say that the Redskins, you know, that the Cowboys didn't play all their guys, but the Redskins do play well against these guys. Here's what it looks like now. It'll be Minnesota at Dallas, Philadelphia at the 49ers, and then of course the first round buys are the champions with the best record, the Green Bay Packers and Carolina Panthers.
And again, congratulations to the Carolina Panthers in their second year. They win the NFC West.
The Redskins just came up with a penalty that you don't see a heck of a lot of. That was tripping. They were called for tripping. Old Fishhook never tripped in his life.
First and 20. Screen pass comes out to Bowie. Bowie back to the 46-yard line, maybe.
Look at the guy out here in front there, old Trey Johnson. You know, it used to be Trey, a T-R with a goo over the E, and now it's just E. Johnson because his real name is Edward Johnson. And but he was a third, so they made him Trey and then put the goo over the E and then just went back to the E. But he was out in front on that play again on that screen pass. And for a guy that weighs around 340 pounds, he sure gets around this football field.
You can't see that. Agoo, is it up there?
No. The Agoo, it used to be T-R-E, Agoo over the E. Now it's just E, but no Agoo.
Terry Allen. The AFC playoff picture, the division winners, Denver, New England, and Pittsburgh. The wild card teams, Buffalo, Jacksonville, and Indianapolis.
A couple surprises being in there. You know, Jacksonville, obviously, but a surprise not being in there is the Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean, would say.
They were a little like the Redskins, you know, a team that got off to a great start, had big records, and, you know, people were thinking, geez, they may go all the way, and then they don't make the deal.
Henry Ellard makes the catch, and it is a catch. And that'll be enough to move the sticks. First down, Redskins. A minute left to play in the third quarter.
Henry Ellard's an amazing guy, isn't he? I mean, he And you talk to defensive backs around this league, and they say, they'll tell you that Henry Ellard runs better pass patterns than anyone in football, and has for like 14 years.
He has caught 4 passes today for 99 yards. 2 tight ends this time, and Terry Allen is cut down behind the line of scrimmage by Randall Godfrey, Cowboys rookie linebacker from Georgia.
Yeah, there's a starting linebacker now. Remember, Broderick Thomas was the starting linebacker there, but he lacked some speed on pass coverage, so they, about 3 or 4 games ago, they starting Randall Godfrey.
And he's played very well.
Well, because he can run. I mean, that's one thing that in any defense you need, but especially in this Dallas Cowboy defense, you need speed.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter then. 23-3, the Redskins over the Cowboys. One more quarter to go at RFK Stadium in Washington, the last professional football game to be played here. The Redskins will move into a new stadium next year. But what a history this place has had. Childress. And another of the introduced Redskins at the half, and a guy contributed so much to so many championships, Mark Mosley, the kicker. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Pat. How you doing?
Doing great. How you doing?
I tell you what, other than this being the last game, it's been a good one for us.
What did it feel like at the half when you went out and joined the teammates?
Well, it's quite an experience. I guess there's some sadness there, but at the same time, it's great to be back with all the fans and to see how they remember all of the players from the past. At the same time, it's kind of sad knowing that this is the last game to be played here.
These are the best fans, I think, anywhere around. That's a hard statement to make, but because there's some great fans in other cities, but they're none as enthusiastic or more enthusiastic than this group.
Yeah, you're right. These fans are the kind of fans that don't leave you whether you win or lose. They're always here. They have since 1964, and when the team started selling out, and they've been selling out every year, and these fans just keep coming no matter what happens.
Well, Mark, great to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Pat. And tell John there that I miss not making his All-Madden team anymore.
Well, he heard you.
Yeah, just keep kicking, Mark.
All right. Well, I'm trying. I played a little semi-pro down here, still kicking. And I actually made a couple of tackles this year at 48.
That's what I heard. I got the report on that.
All right, good.
Thanks, Mark.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, Mark Mosley's still playing some football. Yeah, they send me reports on him playing, and even made a couple of hits along the way that he's proud of.
Still wants to be on the All-Madden team.
Yeah.
But you got to see him play.
Yeah, I know it. And we got to get picking some guys around here.
Face mask by the defense, number 75. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
That doesn't look like... is she one of our camera people? Merry Christmas.
She looks like she's on the wrong side of that deal.
Yeah. Penalty takes it down inside the 10 for the Redskins.
You know, if the Redskins will win this game, they will have beaten the Cowboys 3 out of the last 4 times they've played them. So maybe this game doesn't mean a lot to the Cowboys, but the Redskins do kind of have their number.
To the 5 is Terry Allen.
I think that Norv Turner's done an excellent job with this team and building an offense. And
there's our next guest.
Yeah, those are the happiest dogs. If you ever see a dog like that, like a golden retriever,
yeah,
they're the happiest dogs. Those dogs have more fun than any other dog there is.
Having some fun right now.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that. And I'll bet you the tail's waggling. There's no way that tail isn't waggling right now.
Second goal. Again into the end zone and into the stands from 6 yards out.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. This is a way to remember it. You know, it hasn't been a happy season for these Redskins. It hasn't been everything they wanted, but today's their day. I'm going to miss this, too.
Yeah, the Redskin band. Hail to the Redskins. They're going to the new stadium.
Yeah, but it won't be the same. No, it's not, you know, and that's the thing that's tough about it when you miss these stadiums is that you're not going to have them anymore. I mean, there'll be a new stadium and another stadium, but you won't have this one anymore.
Blanton's extra point is good. Barry Allen scores the touchdown, his third of the day. 30-3.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Lexus ES300. The road is calling. Answer it. By Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good. And by Nike.
Blanton set to kick off. Washington in control of things, 30-3. It's going to be Kevin Williams at about the 11. Heard it out of bounds. The Redskin band and singers.
Can't beat that.
No. Flag on the play. Like Herschel Walker is the tailback now. Barry Switzer had said that Herschel had gotten.
False start by the offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
Herschel had gotten some work at tailback during the week. And so now that's his position, and Jason Garrett is the quarterback.
You kind of figured that when you saw Troy Aikman on the headset. When they took the headset off Jason Garrett, you figured that he was going to play in this second half. Now, Troy Aikman is the guy that will get the plays from Ernie Zampese and call him into Jason Garrett.
Troy still on the headset. I wonder if he'll yell at Jason Garrett.
Well, what he used to do, he wouldn't yell at Jason Garrett. He would yell into this mic to Jason, because that mic would go up to Ernie Zampese. So if he wanted to yell like he didn't like a play, he would come over and yell it like he was yelling at Jason Garrett, but he was really getting to Ernie Zampese, who was on the other end.
Larry Allen limping. You know, Troy looks a little bit like a coach in that headset.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he doesn't look like a quarterback, and he didn't. I was watching the pregame warm-up. I said, geez, that's a different guy than the guy I usually see in a pregame warm-up.
Kevin Williams, the pass from Jason Garrett complete. Larry Allen was limping after the last play. He's not only a very, very good player, a fine player, he is tough.
I think Larry Allen is probably the best offensive lineman in football. And, you know, they got to get back to playing that way, you know, where, you know, Allen plays like that, and Eric Williams plays like that, Ray Donaldson gets healthy.
That's John Flannery at center now.
Yeah, well, Ray Donaldson's been banged up. This is Flannery's first play in all year.
Garrett hits Ty J. Armstrong.
You know, George Hageman's been playing pretty well at that left tackle position. Mark Tuanay, of course, they didn't activate today, so they could rest him. But they're getting some of these other offensive linemen some playing time, and then hope they don't need them when they get into the playoffs.
Back to punt is John Jett for the 6th time today. Clock running with 11 minutes left. Jett hangs it high. Brian Mitchell will try to return it. Hooked at about the 21 by Jim Swans. We've said that a lot this year on punt coverage. 30-3. Soccer ball bouncing around RFK. There'll be a lot of that.
That'll be the only thing here. I think they're just going to have soccer and concerts and stuff like that.
At the 22, 1st and 10, Terry Allen, still the running back. If he gets 2 yards, he didn't quite get it. If he gets 2, he breaks the all-time Washington single-season rushing record. He needs now he needs 1 more, right?
Yeah, he just lost 1, so now he needs 3 to break John Riggins' record. John Riggins is here, and I'm sure that's why Terry Allen is in there right now, and I'm sure that's why they're running the ball, because they have to know that. They ran it on 1st down. I would expect that they would run it again on this down.
Terry Allen, and he just got it.
See the linemen know it. You see the linemen all put their hands up? Those are the guys that know it, the offensive linemen.
Yeah. Broke John Riggins' record. 1,351 rushing yards, single season Redskin record.
Terry Allen, a season total of 1,353 yards, an all-time Washington Redskin record.
And here it is. Here's the all-time Washington Redskin rushing record, getting the end of it right there. Putting it down, and the first guy's up there. You see Ed Simmons, he was up there racing it up there. There we go, the way to go.
Flag on this play, wide open, is Jamie Asher. Asher gets up to the 48. Terry Allen, what a tough runner he is.
You know, and he scored so many touchdowns this year because he runs well down there in the goal line. I mean, he's a quick runner, he's a slasher, he hits the hole, follows blocks, and then he'll put his shoulders down and just run right over anything.
And then he'll jump into the stands.
And he has, you know, when you talk about running backs or you talk about NFL players, I think there's as much respect for Terry Allen as there is anyone in this league.
Around the league, the other players, you're so right.
You know, he had 2 major reconstructive knee surgeries, both knees.
Yeah.
You know, and there were people who thought he was all done.
Offsides by the defense. The defensive right end, that penalty is declined. There's also personal foul face mask by the defense. Number 35. It's a 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
1st down, Washington.
Wendell Davis has had a tough time out there today. He's a rookie cornerback, and you know they're going to work on him when he gets out there, and they have been, and he's been having penalties and all those other things. Everyone realizes now what Terry Allen's done, and I'm sure that his day is done and his season is done.
That's the 3rd time today that Dallas has been called for a face mask violation.
Yeah, Dallas is just playing sloppy football, and part of that is that they don't care an awful lot, and they're playing a lot of different people, and they don't have their cohesiveness.
Stephen Davis, a big, strong guy himself, stopped by Roger Harper.
You know, the thing is, you still have to put someone in there, and if you're the guy that's in there, you don't want to get whipped. I don't care what the situation is. And you know, there's a guy that we talk about the All Madden team, and I think there's one guy you can say who's going to be in the team, and he's in the Pro Bowl, and I think he's one guy. Any team I ever had, I would take Terry Allen.
You'd want him on it.
I sure would.
Here's Sperron. He makes the catch. That double move by Henry Ellard, and the ball was on the way while he was still in his move.
You see, the thing that he can do is he already has the outside, so he just keeps it there. He gets Williams, like you say, a double move. He gets him up, then he gets him going again. But the thing that he kept him on his inside the whole time, knowing that he was going to run it out. And he gave himself room to the sideline, and he had Williams where he wanted him, his inside shoulder, and he kept him there throughout 2 moves.
Big day for Gus Frerotte. 230 pounds. Roger Harper felt the end of that one.
That was the other guy. Remember when we did the opening game of the Redskins, and they were just coming out of the training camp and preseason, and Stephen Davis was another running back that Norv Turner liked. He liked Bowie and Davis, and he thought that, you know, maybe they would help him this year, but if not, they were going to be part of their future.
Davis is deep. And he rips into the end zone. Another Redskin touchdown.
This is when it's fun to play, when you have them whipped and then you just bury their nose in it.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or the use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Washington Redskins and the National Football League is prohibited.
This is one of those games that the offensive line will love because, you know, they got the defense broken down. They're able to run the ball, and Terry Allen got an all-time rushing record.
Blanton's extra point is good. 37-3. Still 7.5 minutes left. These aerial views of RFK Stadium in Washington are being brought to you by the Miller Brewing Eagle. The Eagle's an airplane that has been specially designed to provide aerial coverage on sports television. What a job they've done today. Blanton kicks it off. Kevin Williams fields the kick. Derek Brownlow down to make the stop.
It's the best time of the year. I don't.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
Dallas trailing the Redskins 37-3. This is their worst loss since 1988 against Minnesota. And they got to rest a lot of people.
And the ones that played didn't play very well.
No, they didn't. Jason Garrett firing deep. Stepford Williams makes the catch. One of the great players to play here was that one, Ken Houston, and he's joined us now. Ken, thank you.
Pat.
Thank you.
John, sure.
Yeah, Ken, what are your memories of RFK?
Well, you know, games just like this, the cold and dreary and real hard-fought game, especially against the Cowboys. And one of my most fondest memories, the tackle I made against Walt Garrison back in 1973. I think that got me accepted in the National Football League. And I don't like plays like this, but I do remember that.
That's a Herschel Walker.
Yeah, he was almost a throwback to that era.
Yeah.
He just burst through there, didn't he?
That is unbelievable. Hey, just when I would be talking to.
Well, Ken, good luck to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ken. You guys did a great job. Thank you.
39-yard touchdown run by Walker.
Watch this. That's just man blocking. He gets right in here behind Derek Kennard, who does a heck of a job.
Yeah.
Kennard did play in that left guard. They just wiped it out. They get by the linebackers. There's no secondary in there. Herschel Walker just runs that thing straight up the field. And Derek Kennard, you know, I mean, people can say, you know, he's big, 340, 350. But I'll tell you, the guy can block. I mean, he's a football player, and he helped get him to the Super Bowl a year ago.
You don't knock him backwards, ever.
No, that'd be impossible. You'd need a crane to do that.
The extra point is good. 37-10 with 6:41 left to play. On January 26, Fox Sports will televise our first Super Bowl, and starting now, you can be a part of the most interactive NFL experience on the World Wide Web. Check out SuperBowl.com. Brought to you by IBM.
You know, those are the twins. I think those two women that were on there are twins. Talking about which, did you hear Wade Wilson started today's game? These women are twins.
Yep.
Wade Wilson's wife had twins on Monday. He said it's been a big week for him, a boy and a girl.
And starting.
Yeah, and starting, and Christmas. He says there's a heck of a lot of stuff going on in his life.
Bonio to kick off. Brian Mitchell. Flag on the play. Stopped by Alan Campos. It's against the Redskins.
During the return, illegal block in the back by the receiving team, number 47. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Watch this. You know, Schwantz made the Pro Bowl this year. Jim Schwantz, number 52. But watch when he runs into Trey Johnson. I mean, Trey Johnson. I mean, when you come down, you have to take on a lot of loads when you run down under a kickoff. Yeah, I mean, you have to take on wedges and ball carriers, but who would expect to take on a 340-pound Trey Johnson in a kickoff play?
Here's Steve Davis again. Takes a bunch of folks to get him down. Right now, let's again go to the Fox Television Center for a game break, and here's James Brown.
All right, Pat. Carolina came this close to losing the NFC West title, but the pickoff by Chad Cota preserved that NFC West title victory. That means Philadelphia will be at San Francisco next Sunday right here on Fox. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
5:55 left to play. Straight ahead is Davis.
Yeah, I was thinking this last game being here that you know, when we leave, I'd like to take something with me. I'm sure a lot of these fans and players are all thinking that same thing. Have you thought that, just taking something out of here, just stick it in your pocket?
I've thought about it, but I don't have room. You got room on the bus.
I know. I'm looking. I'm starting to look around for. I can't see anything here to take, but I'll guarantee you on my way out, I'm grabbing something.
Take one of these guys.
I'm just going to grab something that's a thing that's a part of RFK. I may take that. That's not a bad idea. Just go pick up one of those things. Yeah, or a pylon. Yeah. Anything I can stick in my pocket.
Davis again. John, we'd sort of like to dedicate this and say hello and good wishes to your two guys who have been with you for so long and who drive the bus, Dave Hahn and Willie Yarbrough.
Yeah, they're both in the hospital now, and we send our prayers and wishes to them. And Willie will be getting out Tuesday, and Dave will be in for some time, but he's doing better.
That's the best news of all, that they're both doing better.
Yeah, and they'll be back. They'll be back here.
It ain't the same without those two guys.
Like you say, I mean, you get used to something to some people, and you're not there, and you just realize how much you miss them.
Henry Ellard pushed out of bounds by Randall Godfrey.
We were talking about Michael Irvin getting over 1,000 yards. That catch there, Pat, I think just made Henry Ellard over 1,000 yards. So Michael Irvin, it didn't get his. Henry Ellard, it did get his.
And look at this. Second player over 35 years old to gain 1,000 yards receiving. Henry Ellard is remarkable. Never had the great speed.
Well, he's one of those guys that, is just a football player.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows how to play the game, but he knows also how to get himself ready, how to practice, how to work. All those ethic things that you talk about so much, or you think that are missing, or you want to knock pro sports or pro football and say it's not there anymore. You look at a guy like Henry Ellard and you know that it is here.
And with all those qualities you mentioned that he has, he just loves to play the game. Just loves to play the game.
And I think every guy that is worth a darn in football does have a passion for it.
There's another guy that always liked to play the game.
Yeah, Bill Bates. And he's a guy that I know it's killing him not to play in this game, because his first game that he ever played, was here at RFK, and you know, just like any fighter, I mean, you don't want to go out in street clothes. And Bill Bates is one of those guys who's a football player, and the last place he wants to be is there standing on that field in street clothes.
Same kind of man as he is a football player. A good one. Davis again.
Yeah, I'm starting to look down here, Pat. There's a lot of security, and they're starting to take boxes and stuff. They're hauling stuff out of here now that they probably don't want the fans to get. But they got this whole field lined because, like I was saying, I want to take something out of here when I leave.
You going to go down there?
I don't know. I'm going to go somewhere to take something out of here. I'll guarantee I'm going to take something out of here when I leave. But I'm not the only person that has that thought. I think everyone here has that thought. Those guys are there to stop them.
Terry Allen is ready for the season. Here's Gus Perron. Pass is picked off by George T. Laterals back to Wendell Davis. I don't know how that got to be the vogue, that lateraling thing.
Yeah, that's stupid. I mean, I know that, this game doesn't mean anything to the Cowboys. They're in the playoff next week, but if they want it, they have to eliminate that. I mean, their defense is playing superb. Dave Campo does a great job.
So much for your idea to get one of those.
I don't know if I can get one of those now, but they got to eliminate that lateral stuff.
There's Ernie Zampese just on the left you picture. Joe Brodsky in the middle.
Yeah, Dave Campo was talking about the defensive coordinator down there in the end, the guy who's done such a great job.
Neil Armstrong.
They're probably glad to just get out of this one, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. They didn't learn a heck of a lot.
Yeah, their offense hasn't been in sync all year, and the way they figured by playing one more game today, playing all their starters, it wasn't going to get in sync today, so they didn't need it anyway.
As Herschel Walker, the ball carrier, last time. 2 minutes left to play. Happy holidays from all of us at Fox. Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner. Son Stephen in front, Rich Dalrymple alongside.
Jerry Jones and Rich Dalrymple look like they got their coats from the same guy. Although you'd think Jerry's would cost a little more than Rich's, wouldn't you?
I would think so.
Although that's not Rich's coat. Rich right here, that coat came from some other guy. I know who it was, too.
Do you?
Yeah, Rich copped that coat. That's a cop's coat.
Here's Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker's running like a runaway freight.
Herschel's always been able to run.
Yeah, I mean,
hard and fast, straight ahead.
Yeah, he has to have that opening, and if you get him that opening, there's not a lot of people that are going to catch him, as they proved on that one play. You wonder, you look at Terry Allen now, and what a great year he had, and broke the all-time rushing record for the Redskins, but you have to wonder, can they sign him? Will he be back next year? Because in this free agency thing, when you get a guy who's only here a year or two, they don't have a lot of loyalty. Darrell Green, I mean, he's been here forever. I mean, you expect
he has a lot of loyalty.
Yeah, you expect that he would be back there, but you don't know about a Sean Gilbert, and you don't know.
Tonight on Fox, following football, Married with Children, The Simpsons, Ned and Stacy, and the X-Files, except on the West Coast. Clock running, less than a minute left. Washington 37, Dallas 10. Walker again. Walker. First down, Dallas. Stanley Richard dropped him up.
I think both teams now are just trying to get this one over with and get out of here. For the Redskins, it'll be their last game and the end of their season. For the Cowboys, they have to get ready for the playoffs next week, and I'm not sure this is a way to do it, but it is a way. Redskins getting their last picture at RFK.
As the offensive line, those who helped Terry Allen get that record. So the Redskins end At RFK, they finished with a 37-10 victory 35 years ago.
And it's still been a disappointing season for these Redskins. They're not real happy. I think today can be a good day for them, but they're still a frustrated team. The Cowboys, you wonder, they didn't get anything out of today, and you wonder how ready they're going to be for next week.
John and I will be back in just a minute with some final thoughts about today and this year in the NFL. This is the Miller Lite play of the game. Gus Frerotte, record breaker for Terry Allen.
The RFK and the stadium and the last time, but they still hate the Cowboys here too.
Setting fire to the Cowboy helmet. And John, your final thoughts about today and about the season for these two.
Well, it's just my final thoughts are really about being here at RFK. And like I said earlier, there's no place that I would rather be than right here in RFK Stadium today, because there were so many great moments here, and moments that we've been together over the years and games. And it wasn't just one play or one group or one guy. It was a combination, to me, the memories of all the fans, you know, and how great they were, and how this whole place would shake and jump, and the, you know, and the fight song, and the Hogs and Riggo and players and close games, and Joe Jacoby going against Lawrence Taylor, and the great battles, and Joe Theismann, and you know, I mean, all the players and things that happened here, and you just kind of collect them all and put them right in here and say, doggone, this was pretty good.
When you walked in here, you just got sort of a damp feeling when you walked through the dugout out onto the field, when you walked up into our booth, when you came here as a player, as I did way back in 1961. You had that feeling of intimacy. You were close to the fans. You were right there with them. They got to know you. You got to know them. Whether they hated you or whether they liked you, you were right there with them. There's no place like it. All the new stadiums they can build are going to be a thing that's necessary, no question about that. But you're never going to get the feeling that you had here.
Yeah, but you know, we're losing that. I mean, we lose RFK, and then you think Lambeau Field is there and Soldier Field is there. I mean, we still have some of them, and you still have some of those memories the way football used to be, and the way it should be. You know, played on grass and all those things. And you know, we look at these guys celebrating. You think, you know, the Redskins, they go home, their season's over, and Dallas, they just want to get out of town and get ready for next week. And I don't know if they can. I mean, I don't know. I think defensively, maybe they can, but their offense really didn't get started all year. I mean, I thought they were the best team coming in. They never played like the best team, but until someone beats them, you have to say that they're the best team.
They are a group that feels that they can turn it on and off when they want to, but I'm not sure you can do that. I'm not sure they can do that one more time. We'll take you back. We'll be back with the studio and the playoff situation in just a moment.